Hey everybody, it's Somnius Story Flux, call me Flux for short, or whatever you want to call me. And in the last episode, we made it here to the Forest Temple, only to find that Saria is no longer in her spot. And she surely isn't in the village. So we have to head into the Forest Temple in order to look for her. Now, right off the bat, it starts you off with these enemies, but if you know how to deal with them, they're kind of a joke, honestly. These things gave me trouble when I was younger, but it's really not that hard. You just wait for them to turn around. Now, before we leave this room, there are a couple things we actually want to do in here. Pro tip, you can climb up these vines, or you can hookshot to them, get up to the top of this room a little faster. Just a little bit of a quick tip. You can generally hookshot to walls that you can climb and get up them a little bit faster. Speaking of hookshot, there is a sculpture wall. So you can get that anyway. But no. I'm going to just be kind of warning you now. The dungeons from this point of the game start getting longer. And in fact, we have keys for each dungeon that we have to collect. So, yeah. This dungeon probably will not take one video. It will probably take two. Some later on may take more than that. But 2 videos for this dungeon will probably be sufficient. It might depend on how some parts of it go, though. Anyway, these torches seem to have gone out, and... Ghosts took the torches to disable the elevator, so we can't go down to the lower floor yet. That, in any other game, that would be really kind of a weird sentence. But Zelda games have always been kind of weird. Let's be real. But they just handle the weirdness with usually such a sort of cohesiveness. It's like it's weird, but it feels... I don't even know how to describe it, honestly. Cohesiveness probably is a specifically wrong way too, but I don't know. It just seems like all of the weird things in these games they're weird, but in the context of the game, they make sense. Like, even just momentarily, even just in the moment, the stuff, weirder things in the Zelda games tend to, like, feel like they at least have some sort of internal logic, even if it doesn't make a lot of sense. Just as a thing to happen. Maybe it's just because they've been so iconic that it feels that way. Like, maybe the fact that they feel so, like, they work so much is because they were successful. Or maybe they were so that doesn't usually happen. I probably shouldn't have done that, but... I got so caught up in the fact that I was in that fight and I was talking about a point I had, that I completely botched the battle. I'm gonna drink this 7-year-old milk and hope that I don't die. But yeah, no, it's... Does anyone get what I'm trying to say? There's just something about Zelda games. It's like when you think about it a bit more, you start to wonder why it feels like it makes so much sense, because it clearly shouldn't, but it still does. And I don't know if I can quite place why. I don't know. That's just my random tangent for the day, I guess. But no. Let's try this again. Yeah, there are basically a few ways to deal with this enemy. You can hit it with a projectile or the hook shot or something from a distance, or you can use your shield to knock the thing. Anyway. No. These enemies aren't that hard. They're definitely harder than anything you fought as a child, though. So. And if those awesome looking orange swords actually, or I guess they're supposed to be bronze, I don't know. Whatever they are awesome. Yeah, basically, if you play these fights a little safer, you typically shouldn't get hit too much. The problem is, because they take forever that way, you kind of get tempted to play things not so safe, and that's where the trouble starts. So, yeah, I don't really know. It's, that is, let me just do this real quick. And can I still catch this? Yes. If you put a fairy in a bottle, you will not have much risk of dying. It will fully heal you whenever you die. So, with that, we can pretty much just put our bottle away for now and just go on with the dungeon. Whew, that was a weird little blip in our Let's Playing experience. That's the first time so far that I died in this playthrough, so I guess that's a plus. Okay, yeah, I did get the spatula. I guess what we can do here now is go through this little loop. There's not a whole lot we can do about that doorway. But this one, this block look familiar? Yep, Song of Time blocks tend to get fairly common in this part of the game. By which I mean after you have the Song of Time. It's like, obviously, they wouldn't be very common before you got that. But, no. I don't even know. This part of this dungeon always felt kind of neat to me. It's like a little, like, internal courtyard, like, section of the temple. I guess it would make sense that a forest temple would have something like that. The sky's kind of overcast, though, so it's a little dark and slightly gloomy. But, no, yeah. I don't know. I'd totally sleep here, honestly. No, there's only so much you can do in this room for now, but what you need to do is head over here, and there is a wall and spiders. Can't really do anything about that one. So we're just gonna have to try and get past it. Fortunately, it's not that hard to get past. The thing about these spiders is if they see you, they will turn purple. And as long as you stop right there, they won't charge at you. I didn't know that when I was younger, so knowing that is definitely very helpful for if you have to sneak up past them. But with that said, we have a big chest. Something important. It's the map. Yep. However, the maps start getting a bit more useful at this point, so... Oh, this one's not giant, so it's... Yeah, no, it's like... The maps are, not so useful in the earlier dungeons, but here they can be pretty useful. If you ever see one of these targets on a wall, you can pull yourself to it with the hook shot. The switch will drain the water in that well, which is actually surprisingly important. And now... Wow, that was the worst possible spot I probably could have jumped down onto. What your best bet is to pretend this is a movie because it's a video game, which might as well be a movie. Well, some of today's video games might as well be movies. So, oh my goodness, can I just hit you? Those are a little annoying to fight sometimes, but yeah. This treasure chest is a little bit weird. Like, you have to pull yourself to it from just the right spot and angle to be able to reach it for one, and not immediately fall off into the water. So it's like not even that helpful anyway. The main reason that chest is there is because the Skulltula is there. So it makes it easier to get the Skulltula. But yeah. Don't go out that door or you'll be stuck out there. Instead, what you want to do is drop into this well and run underneath the courtyards. Kind of cool that there's a little space under here that you can actually walk through between the rooms. And lo and behold, there is a treasure chest. So we have 3 keys of Orient. Well, actually, this is in the western half of the temple. And the other 2 were both pretty much dead center. Actually, the first key was technically in the western half of the room. The second one was in the exact middle of the room, so that joke was kind of as incorrect as it was terrible. So let's just pretend I never said it. Anyway. You need those 3 keys because there are going to be a few doors that we need to use them on moving along. Of course, our hookshot will one-shot these guys. Always nice to just take out an enemy and move along with your life. You can get rid of that thing's fire, but just don't even bother. I don't know. It just is kind of pointless to worry about killing that particular enemy. This room always felt a little... This room was always very memorable to me as a kid. There are arrows painted on the floor. And yes, this is a block puzzle. And that's the thing, it's almost a completely linear block puzzle too. But yet, it always felt so clever. It's just the perspective of it all. It's like you're wandering through a maze in 3 dimensions and using the blocks to get through to the top of it. It's just... I honestly have no idea why I like it. it's a very tedious, kind of time-consuming room. But it's just... I don't know. I can't really explain it. And it literally gives you the solution, too. But it also doesn't... It gives it to you without completely spelling it out, I guess? I don't know. But you actually want to, climb up this ladder first. Which is actually where it doesn't exactly spell things out, so I guess props to that. Because this block, you can push from this side, and once you can't push it anymore, then you go back to the other path. Yeah, I guess that is kind of why I always remember it, is because not only is it's relatively short and simple as far as a maze goes, but it's just kind of cool that you actually have to think about it in 3 dimensions and figure how far along you've pushed each of the blocks and where they are spatially. So, honestly, yeah, it's just really cool that they made it work the way they did. And then, once you have both of the blocks pushed in, you can get to the top of the room, and then this dungeon really gets interesting. Well, okay. We still got to get through the exit of this room. These enemies are annoying for right now. Just put the key in the lock. And yes, this corridor is all twisted. What an observation, Nabby. But what a visual effect. Like, seriously. Just like the hallway untwists as you go through it, and it's just so cool. And that's what everyone remembers about this temple, other than the music. Also, the shadows of monsters that hang from the ceiling means we want to get out of here. And yep, there's our 3rd key. If you did not have all 3 keys, you could not get through this part of the dungeon. So you actually need all of those. We can't really do anything about that yet, so let's take a look at this room. And if you actually look at that hole, that actually leads into the room where we fought the Stalfos in the first half. Like on the first floor. You don't want to fall down there, because that skeleton can somehow walk on air. But we can't. You will fall, and you will have to climb out all the way back up to the 2nd floor. So don't fall into that hole. Then once you beat him, the floor fills in. Now we have 2 more Stalfos. This fight is a little trickier than the one earlier. So hopefully I won't die. Oh. I have a fairy at least, but the thing about this fight is, okay, I hit that guy 4 times. You want to weaken one enemy, then kill the other, because if you don't kill both enemies within a certain time frame of the other, the first one you killed will actually get back up. It's the fact that they did this is really a wake-up call for the kind of difficulty that can be expected from the rest of the game. Granted, it's not like this game is particularly difficult. But yeah. With that, let's silence the annoying beeps. And open our treasure chest. You found the fairy bow. On the select item subscreen, you can set it to C, C, or C. Use C to take it out and hold it. Yeah. We got the bow. And that is a pretty huge item for like the entire game. I mean, there's a reason why the official strategy guide for the game included a picture of Link posing with the bow on its front cover. I don't know. No, seriously, that was the front cover of it. It was Link pointing straight at the reader with a bow, with an arrow knocked in the bow. And this is as far as we can go for now. So what we actually need to do is, now that we have our bow, we can do some other things. I think we have like a few more minutes, so I'm gonna start taking care of a couple of the things in this part of the temple that are worth doing. If you shoot the frames that have a ghost in them, only one of these frames will have a ghost in it at once. And if you walk too close to it, it will go away. If you shoot that, then it will burn up. And once you've shot all three, then the actual ghost will be here. Beth, one of the Pose sisters. Unlike other Pose, the Pose sisters will not actually be... the Pose sisters will not actually disappear when you target them. That is a trick that I only found out relatively recently. Is that a Deku Nut will make the Pose sisters instantly become physical again. I guess corporeal? No, they're still ghosts. I don't know my ghost terminology. I don't know. It's just all kind of weird, but no. With that, we got the compass, which will tell us where we can find chests, so where we might be able to get more keys. But that is more or less where we hit a dead end. We do have one more Poe we can take out now that you might have seen on the way over. So next time, we'll go do that. So this has been Summoning Respiratory Flux, and next time on Let's Play Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, we'll keep exploring the Forest Temple and see how far we can get. Respond, vibrate, feedback, resonate in the comments below. Tell me how you think I did. And next time, more ghosts. And may the good elephant guide your way. No, this music is not the good elephant.